Here to commence the program with opening remarks is Senior Vice President of Corporate Relations for the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Cynthia Jaramillo.
Buenos dias. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second day of the inaugural 2022 Energy Summit, an energy summit birthed in collaboration with the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber of Commerce. Now, today, on this windy Friday in April, we celebrate Mother Earth. Today, on Earth Day, we are reminded to protect the environment, to restore damaged ecosystems. We are reminded to respect one another. Today, we are reminded to live a more sustainable life. Today, first celebrated in 1970, marks its 52nd anniversary, Earth Day. Now, you heard this theme throughout the summit. The United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with the Albuquerque Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, set out to bring together key stakeholders from the energy sector and to bring together key members of the community to strengthen the dialogue on how we collaborate to help the country transition to a lower carbon world and help accelerate the transformation to a cleaner economy. Now, I believe that mission has been accomplished. Don't you agree, Ramiro? Yes. Absolutely. Thanks to all of you. Now, New Mexico has long embraced Native in its diverse population, which includes 48% Hispanic and 12% Native American. And in its Native natural resources as the second largest oil producer and ninth largest natural gas producers, New Mexico is a leader also in wind and solar energy. The potential for electricity generation from wind is enormous, as New Mexico ranked 13th among states in wind production. Now, with that said, at this time, on this day, Earth Day, it is my honor to welcome to the stage a very special member of the New Mexico and American community, Governor Luarqui, a thought leader, a visionary, a strategic thinker, values-based and driven by his principles, a two-term governor for the Pueblo of Laguna. He also has served on various boards and committees, including the Board of Trustees for the Smithsonian's National Museum of the American Indian. Dr. Luarqui has a Bachelor of Arts from the University of New Mexico in Economics, an MBA from New Mexico State University, and a PhD from Arizona State University. He currently serves as the President and Chief Executive Officer for Tamaya Ventures, a professional services firm wholly owned by the Pueblo of Santa Ana. Dr. Luarqui, will you now lead us into ceremony by allowing us to take part in a very sacred Native American tradition?
Good morning, everyone. It's good to see all of you here. As we start our day, as we normally do in any of our events, we ask and invoke the spirits to guide us and help us. So I'm going to start our day like that, and I'm going to also ask you to help us in your own thoughts, in your own prayers, in your own way of praying. So start our day. Our Mother and Father, I'm thankful for this new day that you've brought us to this new time. It's good that all of the people are here well and good to see you. Mother Earth, everything that's yours, life, happiness, health. Bless us, protect us, guide us, with all your blessings. Mother, Father, Binatsi, bless us. Amu our Chomani, with the ability to love each other. Tinye our Chomani, to respect each other. Basho our Chomani, to be careful and mindful of each other. To have a long life. Bawashjumi, Binatsi, Patyawajani. All that's yours, all that's yours. We ask for your blessings from Atstake, Potyu, Sati, no, Amen.
Friends and colleagues, joining us on the stage for sponsor remarks is Director of External Affairs for CTIA, Mr. Harry Anastopoulos.
Good morning. So I got some slides for you all. There we go. So climate change, it's one of the most important issues that we will face in our lifetimes, and it's one that's having an outsized impact on Hispanic communities. The Pew Research Center found recently that an overwhelming majority of Latinos in the United States, 81%, believe it's a top priority to address climate change. With that in mind, please briefly indulge this millennial as I discuss the role that 5G wireless networks can play in helping us to address climate change. For many Hispanic-owned businesses, a mobile device is an essential tool for running operations. At the same time, companies throughout the mobile industry have been hard at work, reducing their own emissions, investing in renewable energy, and rethinking packaging and product life cycles to ensure their companies and your connected devices are as sustainable as possible. But just as importantly, the 5G networks that these providers are deploying are poised to help other sectors reduce emissions in a big way. In fact, 5G-enabled real-world applications will help the US meet 1/5 of our national emission reduction goals by 2025. That's a huge impact. It's the equivalent of preventing an entire year's emissions from 72 million cars. For those who are not familiar, the administration has set a goal of cutting emissions by 50% by 2030, and building upon that, is seeking to put the United States in a position to be net zero by 2050. The research firm Accenture looked at real-world applications across 5 key verticals, where 5G could have the greatest impact. I'll briefly dive into 2 of these examples to illustrate how this works. Transportation. This is the highest emitting sector in the country. Applying 5G connectivity to transportation, we can enable carbon savings equal to the amount of carbon capture produced yearly by 106 million acres of forests. So let me explain how that works. 5G will offer speeds 100 times faster, improve network reaction time 5-fold, and support 100 times more devices. What this means is more devices and sensors can be connected. They can talk to each other in real time, and this back and forth can produce data that helps optimize systems and create efficiencies. For example, if parking systems utilize sensors to determine where open parking spots are, you don't need to circle the block 10 times. You don't have to idle slowly down the street looking for a spot. The parking system can just tell your car where to go. The next example is the energy sector that we all benefit from, a topic we have kind of been talking a lot about during this conference. For example, inefficient and inadequate heating and cooling systems in commercial and industrial buildings are leading to substantial waste and overuse. Applying 5G connectivity to the energy sector will have a climate impact equivalent to negating emissions from 12 million homes. Those carbon emissions reductions can be attained with 5G applications like enhanced real-time energy monitoring, where we can more dynamically balance supply and demand, or fuel savings from being able to remotely monitor and manage energy sources. That particular capability can help us more easily adopt renewable energy sources, like wind energy, for example, which is often located in pretty isolated areas. Overall, we're very proud of the wireless industry's role to help the U.S. meet its climate goals, both within our own industry and in key sectors serving you as well. I'd also like to extend my sincere gratitude to the U.S. Hispanic Chamber, and as well as all of the Hispanic chambers across the country, for your remarkable commitment to sustainable economic development. Thank you.
We are honored to welcome our next speaker as she offers a keynote address. Please give a warm round of applause to the Undersecretary for Rural Development for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Ms. Xochitl Torres Small.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Happy Earth Day. And I just have to, for me, this is Happy New Mexico Day. I am just so dang grateful to be back here in New Mexico and to be here with such leaders across the state. I am so proud of the work that you do to lead in the energy space and grateful to get to be part of that in the work for the United States Rural Development. And what a better way to celebrate New Mexico and Earth Day than with this historic collaboration between the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and the Albuquerque Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and bringing all of us together to continue to vision and work towards a new and brighter clean energy future. So thank you all so much for allowing me to be a part of this work. I want to begin by sharing something with you that I recently shared with the United States House of Representatives at a hearing with the topic of energy. I asked my former colleagues on the Agriculture Committee to remember that when we talk about energy, especially in rural America, we have to recognize that we're talking about communities in transition. People in Washington, D.C. will talk about the energy transition, but across rural America, energy workers and entrepreneurs are living it. In many cases, they're driving it. I also asked the committee members to join me in honoring and valuing the hard work and ingenuity that came out of rural America before renewables, because that work powered this country for a century, contributed significantly to American prosperity as a whole, and continues to be an important part of America's energy portfolio today. No one knows this better than the people of New Mexico, where energy is an important part of our history and our future. And where climate change is taking its toll through fires that are burning right now and burn all season, including the spring, which, as you know, is our windy season. We know how dangerous climate change is. Thankfully, New Mexico is turning challenges into opportunities, harnessing that same wind power to power our nation. Just this week, I got to drive past the largest onshore wind farm in the United States. And I was deeply proud to have had the chance when I was a representative to work with Pattern Energy to help complete that work. As we go through the seasons, New Mexico is also harnessing the power of the sun, that hot sun of the summer. In fact, by the summer, Kit Carson Rural Electric Co-op will be at 100% daytime power from the sun, and at the same time, lowering rates by 25%. New Mexico also knows that we don't have to do it alone. When it comes to harnessing power, we can harness regional power. That looks like partnerships for the future. And that's why New Mexico is working with Wyoming and Utah, as well as Colorado, to become a regional hydrogen hub. Now, we may compete on things like green chili, although we all know New Mexico green chili is better than Colorado's. But we can work together on cutting-edge new technologies that will power a clean future. Because New Mexico knows that as this transition takes place, it's important that rural communities are not left behind. And instead, they have the opportunity to both benefit and to lead. With change comes opportunity, and the Biden-Harris administration is dedicated to making sure that those opportunities are accessible for everyone, from land grants to Indian country and colonias to the Permian Basin. And by the way, in the energy sector, we see what you see. C-suites and boards of directors don't always look like the people they serve. It's time for our highly innovative entrepreneurial community to not just benefit from the opportunities of energy, but to play a leadership role in the industry. Now, here's what we hope to do to support that at Rural Development. At Rural Development, our goals for energy are straightforward, reliable, affordable, and clean. We pursue these goals with programs that invest in technologies like wind and solar. There's a program for energy savings, too. That one provides loans to the entities that provide energy efficiency services in rural areas. We invest in energy infrastructure, and we help energy project developers for distributed energy projects. We also want to make sure that electric vehicles reach rural America. Here in New Mexico, that means that the kind of infrastructure that ensures that people don't just drive through our beautiful state, but they stop and they stay a while. An important part of Rural Development's work is done in partnership with rural electric co-ops, who are the true leaders in energy transition. Co-ops have taught us that when communities lean into clean energy, as so many are already doing and have been doing for years, the resulting economic prosperity is clear. It's powerful. Jobs are created, consumers save on their energy bills, and new markets are formed. And while we're talking about jobs, let's make sure that they're good-paying jobs for the hard work that happens, and make sure that we're leveraging our strong partnerships with labor. So Rural Development leverages our historic experience with rural electric co-ops, with labor, and with electricity generation to support rural entrepreneurs who are working to harness energy and to bring it to the market in new ways. If you aren't already talking to co-ops, to labor, to the entrepreneurs in this room as you explore energy opportunities, I hope that you do today. Secretary Vilsack is actually making an announcement today that reflects key priorities of the administration's energy vision. In honor of Earth Day, we will begin investing nearly $800 million in climate-smart infrastructure in 40 states, Puerto Rico, and the Northern Mariana Islands. These investments will strengthen the health and livelihoods of people across rural America, including funding for 165 projects to expand access to safe water, clean energy, and energy efficiency improvements for people living across rural America. It's a happy Earth Day, indeed. I'll leave you with what I hope for. When I think about the future of the energy sector, I hope for energy that is reliable, affordable, and clean. I hope for a future where energy jobs are good and plentiful. I hope for a place where entrepreneurs are busy and helping create even more jobs, and where the C-suites and boards of the energy industry have more Hispanic and tribal faces than they do today. This future, thanks to you, is very much within our grasp. I look forward to getting to continue to work with all of you to achieve it. Thank you again for having me here today. I am so grateful to be part of the inaugural summit, and I hope that it will be remembered as the start of something truly great and enduring. Thank you.
Thank you for those insightful remarks, Undersecretary. Here to enlighten us with a state of energy presentation, friends and colleagues, welcome to the podium the Principal of Energy Futures Initiative, Miss Melanie Kenderdine.
Thank you all very much. And I do have slides. We're going to go from the sublime slides you saw from the earlier speaker to my ridiculous ones, but because they're complicated. But I want to thank the National and Albuquerque Hispanic Chambers of Commerce for this opportunity, and Ernie C. DeBaca for reaching out to me, getting me engaged in this event, and all of the staff here I always like to thank the staff who work so hard. Were very patient with me, and they've been great. It's wonderful to actually be here giving a live speech. I've given so many speeches on Zoom calls in the last 2 years. This is wonderful. There are two disadvantages, however. One, I had to comb the back of my hair today for the first time in 2 years, and I had to put on a skirt. I'm not wearing pajama bottoms. So any rate, it's great to be here. I'm going to highlight a few international trends and issues that underscore the challenges in meeting the imperatives of deep decarbonization, a couple of U.S. trends